Hey, how's it going everybody? Indypride here, bringing you a Shogun 2 replay commentary today against my boy Oakley Hidef on Yamasaki Choke Point. One of my favorite maps in the game, and I have not been on Shogun 2 multiplayer in a long time, and I haven't uploaded a video for this game in a long time either. So I figured that I would show you some replay action for Shogun 2. Oakley and I played a best of 3 series, and we got some really good games in. First one especially is a really solid game, so I definitely recommend that you guys stick around to the end. But let's go over army setups real quick. So I've got some Yari Cav. My cavalry contingent over here is 2 heavily upgraded Yari Cav, Naginata attendant just to back them up and help me win the Cav fight if I do choose to engage. My avatar's bodyguard with legendary Mempo Mask, that -3 morale penalty in an AoE around him, very scary to deal with, and of course the massive melee stats. He is a melee general. You guys know that I rocked a leadership gen for a long time, but I switched away from that maybe about a year ago and never looked back. I think the melee general is a lot more fun to use than the leadership general. In leadership general, you kind of just pop into stand and fight and you suddenly get amazing morale and amazing buffs, and it's kind of a little broken to me. I feel like melee general is a lot more interesting because you have to use him intelligently, but he's also a hand cannon. Like, he destroys stuff. He absolutely devastates units when he goes in 1v1. But you still have to be very careful because, as you guys know, the general in Shogun 2 is such an important unit. When you lose your gen, it's basically a death sentence. You're almost guaranteed to lose the game unless it's in a late game situation where it's very, very even. So, I'm going to have to be very cautious with how I use him, but at the same time, be aggressive and go for the very important targets on the field. For Oakley Hidef, he's got 2 bow cavalry. He loves bow cav on Shogun 2. I've told him a couple times that I'm not a big fan of bow cav on this game, and that's because they don't have Parthian shot, and they have only 150 range. So when they go in to shoot, they're only 25 range away from matchlock range, and some of the matchlock units can get 150 range, like my matchlock warrior monks. They start out with 125, and then they pop increased range, and they're suddenly at 150. So bow cav is very dangerous. They aren't fast either. Yari cav catches up to them very, very easily. So you have to be very cautious with how you use them, and the Parthian shot is probably the biggest thing that makes them kind of trash. It's silly because samurai were known for using bows on horseback and being able to shoot backwards, but for some reason they don't have Parthian shot in this game, and that really hurts how effective they are at skirmishing. So he has those bow cavalry. He has 2 of those, some Naginata samurai, a couple matchlock Ashigaru, a lot of meat shields. As you can see, we're kind of baiting each other with a cav, the Naginata attendants over here. Some Yari Ashigaru. He also has a melee general, I believe. Melee leader hybrid, basically. It's what I have. But he has Bonsai on his leader gen, or on his melee gen. And he has some Wako Raiders over here that made it difficult for me to contest that workshop. So he's going to get the workshop, and he's going to get the farmhouse as well. I definitely don't want to concede the morale shrine, so I'm going to get that, and that'll give me a nice buff. +3 morale to all of my troops. Pretty important. And he's going to do some skirmishing with the bow cavalry. So we're just kind of baiting right now. He's doing a good job screening his troops with that shrine. Not taking too many devastating volleys here because he is behind the building. Matchlocks don't have a good line of sight. And I want to move up here, and with my 125 range matchlocks, want to do some skirmishing. But like I said, that building is giving me some problems. You can see I'm kind of shooting into the side of the fence right there. Not doing as much damage as I want to. But I realized that he has a lot of troops tied up over there. And honestly, it's just a Naginata attendant and a couple of Yari Ashigaru that are preventing him from coming over. So I'm like, it's time to go for a rush here. So I'm going to come right up the center. Going to lose this Naginata attendant, no big deal there. They're going to take some fire. And then charge in with my Dodachis. Not a great charge bonus there. And actually, my Cav is getting shredded. They got a volley from the matchlocks and a couple of the bow cav shots, and they're already wavering. And this is the problem with the melee gen, is that you have a lot of morale penalties in this game. Shogun 2 morale is very wonky anyway. You can mass route extremely quickly. But some of my most elite cavalry already down 20 men and almost wavered. Nodachi's at 115. They're getting destroyed by the Naginata Samurai because I didn't get a good charge off. And they're going to route, and I didn't pop Bonsai. Huge micro mistake there. They're not going to get the unbreakable morale from Bonsai, and they're going to route and shatter from the field with only 34 kills. That's a lot of Koku down the drain, about 950 Koku. That's a big deal. Very poorly played from me, I have to say. So I wanted to quickly make up for that mistake. Charge in with my Naginata Warrior Monk Cavalry. They have Warcry upgrades. So we're going to try to cause some chain routing over here. Obviously, this isn't the best engagement for me going into Naginata Samurai, but I quickly realized that and pull out. But you can see a lot of his units breaking right here, so match like Ashigaru. They're going to come back, though. I'm not going to be able to shatter them, I don't think. And he actually had a lot of hidden troops here. Very nice little ambush here from Oakley. And he's going to bring a bunch of the Naginata Samurai, some Nodachis, all of his melee troops, basically, out of hiding. And now I realize that I've already committed some of my cavalry, so I'm going to have to try to rout this whole blob as quickly as I possibly can. But very nice ambush from him. I'm going to lose some troops here that I really didn't want to lose, because I kind of overcommitted. But his troops are still tied up over on the side, the Yari Cav and the Waka Raiders. They haven't been able to catch up to me yet, and I've committed everything here. So if I can rout all these red units here, the Nodachi Samurai, the Naginata Samurai, it will be huge for me. But routing it's not going to be super easy, because they are decent in melee combat, obviously. Naginata Warrior Monks, 15 attack, 17 defense. Very nice upgrades here on this Naginata Warrior Monk unit. And they're going to absolutely butcher some of my cavalry here. So a bunch of my cav units are already down to half strength, but I am breaking through. You can see some Naginata Samurai routing in the back there. And where's my general, actually? Actually, my gen is down to 11 men out of 48. They kind of got shot up, I think, by a matchlock unit. And against some Yari cavalry as well from Oakley. So they are really kind of depleted. A lot more depleted than I would have thought this early on in the battle. Now Oakley's going to get his general into melee here. Do a lot of damage there. Nice charge there. I do have Banzai activated on the Nodachi Samurai, so they will not shatter right away. They're going to be able to stay in melee for a while. But still not an engagement that I want them to be in. They're hammer and anvil between, they're sandwiched between his melee gen and some Nodachis. So that's a problem for me for sure. And things are starting to look a little scary for me. Balance bar shifting a little bit more in Oakley's favor. Do have plenty of melee troops in the back, some Yari Ashigaru, and both my matchlock units are still alive. But I gotta keep my general alive here, see I'm pulling him out. Up to 97 kills, but already down to 11 men. That's not great, honestly. With how good my general is in melee, he should have a lot more kills and not be quite as depleted as he is. And I need to make sure he stays alive. The morale penalty right here, if he died, would be a big, big problem. So I pull him out, make sure that I don't lose him right away. But will want to hold on to him for the legendary Mempo Mask minus morale penalty. That will be huge in late game situations for sure. And still breaking through, Nodachi Samurai. Down here, I committed one of my Yari Cav in the river, and then another big charge from the Naginata Warrior Monk Cav. Trying to tie all this down so my Yari Ashigaru can catch up. You guys know that Yari Ashigaru have a large bonus versus large. Great versus cavalry in this game. But Oakley's doing a very nice tactic here of keeping his bow cav back and shooting into the melee blob. And this is a problem for my Naginata Warrior Monk cav because they're very low armor. They are Naginata monks. You can see they don't wear very much armor at all. And he's targeting them very proficiently. They're going to drop very quick. And that's going to be a bad engagement for me. So they're down to 25 men. They're going to rout pretty quick. And it looks great for me though. Like, I've taken the ridge. Most of these units are dead. Pretty much only the Waka Raiders up here. Yari Ashigaru are going to rout with 150 men. Matchlock Samurai only up to 37 kills but haven't taken any losses. I do have one more Matchlock unit right there. Matchlock Warrior Monks up to 112. So things are looking really good for me, balance bar, in my favor. Oakley is... he doesn't have much left. He has this Yari Cav that's running away. 22 men out of 80, but they should come back from routing. And then the Bow Cav, who are up to 116 kills. And some Nodachi Samurai. But I don't have a lot of melee troops left. I have Yari Ashigaru, which are crap in melee, of course. One Nodachi Samurai with 56 men left in the unit. Not a lot there. And then the two Matchlock units. So it's gonna come down to how I use my Matchlocks. If I use them appropriately, I should win this relatively handily. But Oakley's not gonna let me just shoot up his guys. Obviously, I did get a good volley off on the Waka Raider. I missed it, unfortunately, but killed about 20 men with a single volley from the Matchlock Warrior Monks, which was good. This is a mistake right here. What I'm doing, there was a ridge. I wanted to get these Yari Ashigaru off the field, so I'm gonna get some volleys here. But I'm going to try to pull away 120 men, and then that charge is going to kill about 10. So that in and of itself isn't the worst thing, but it was kind of poor micro. I tried to pull them out, but they kind of stayed to shoot their last volley. The problem is there is now cavalry right here. This 22 out of 80. Yari Cav coming up the ridge, and my Matchlock Samurai are wavering. That's a problem. Walker Raider's now committed into melee, trying to catch up to my Matchlocks. Gonna lose one of my attendants that I used as a meat shield right there, but yeah. I'm reacting very slowly to this. I should have already brought my gen back to deal with this Yari Cav. One-on-one, my general will absolutely stomp this Yari Cav in melee. But trying to pull away. Lost 30 men in this Matchlock unit that I really shouldn't have. That's a problem. I mean, 30 men in a single Matchlock, that's a lot of damage. That can be 30 kills. So, not great right there. And he's trying to pull through and get at my Matchlocks, getting some kills here. Matchlock's down to 85, but then they'll rout from the Mempo Mask morale penalty. But now the attack from Oakley is going to come. He has his gen out on the flank. I'm going to try to box up, keep my Matchlocks facing multiple directions, but the problem is that he has a Walker Raider here. Pretty decently upgraded Walker Raider with 14 melee attack. Going into my Matchlock Samurai. Catch some big headings right there. And this is not good. I have one Nodachi, 49 men left in the unit, and a Yari Ashigaru, and another Nodachi. I guess I have two Nodachis, but neither of them have Bonsai. I used it already, and that's a problem. Like, saving Bonsai in some situations for the end game is really important because of that unbreakable morale penalty. If they were unbreakable right now, I could get some hammer and anvils off. That'd be great for me, but my main line is routing. Nodachi just routed. Another Nodachi about to rout. And his gen is tearing me up in melee right now. Up to 96 kills, 29 attack. Matchlock's not able to fire at the moment because they're tied down by the gen. Bocav are shooting up to 150 kills now. Really starting to make their presence felt. And he's going to charge into the back of this Nodachi. And things are starting to look dire for me. No Bonsai again. So can't keep them in the fight. They're going to rout. And my gen is actually, I think he might have already fallen. No, he hasn't fallen yet. It's 7 out of 48. So he's in melee here. Where is he? I don't actually see my gen. But I need to just tie down this blob right here. If I can route the Walker Raider, I'll probably be fine because I still have a full strength Matchlock unit. But I just don't have a lot of power on the field. Yeah, my gen just dropped, and that's a death sentence. That's a death sentence in late game situations in Shogun 2. So balance bar shifting ever more in Oakley's favor. I am getting some decent shots off with the Matchlock Warrior Monks, but no cavalry left on the field for me. In fact, the only unit left on the field is the Matchlock Warrior Monk, and I'm not going to be able to kite with only one unit left. Especially with cavalry on the field. So he's going to charge in Yari Ashigaru. Just skewer my Matchlock Warrior Monks right through the chest. And with a charge from the Bocav, that's going to be the game. So Oakley played really well that battle. I will say I felt a little bit rusty. We probably both are. Neither of us play Shogun 2 multiplayer that often. But he played really well. He did some really nice things, especially that ambush. When I committed my cav, I was like, where are all his melee troops? And then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 of them came out, and I kind of overcommitted with my cavalry, which was a problem, of course. He got some Naginata Warrior Monks into combat there, killed maybe half of a couple of my cavalry units, and that was a problem. I didn't meat shield great either, and maybe the biggest issue actually was that I had that, should have been a full strength Nodachi unit, and I meat shielded really poorly with that, let them get charged by Naginata Samurai, didn't get my Bonsai off, didn't get my charge off, and I'm just gonna, that whole unit just routed. And with 100 men left in the unit, losing a Nodachi, that's 950 talents down the drain. It's a big problem. So, Oakley used his Bocav really well that game. I think they got up to 200 kills. We'll see in a second here. But the Bocav did a lot of work, which is surprising because it's not a great map for Bocav, and again, Bocav's not very good in Shogun 2, but he did use it very well that game. So yeah, my Nodachi, 350 kills, very solid, 200 on another one, 180 kills on my Avatar's Bodyguard, not great. Honestly, like, if I was using them better, I'm not sure how they dropped so low, to be honest. I missed it in the replay, but they got dropped real fast. And that's a problem because once units are off the field, then it kind of opens up stuff for your gen to go in. And he was already depleted at that point. He was already down to 11 men out of 48. So in the late game situations, in the mid game situations where you have a full strength Avatar's Bodyguard, that's where they can really do a lot of damage. And I I really wasn't able to because he was so depleted. I had to kind of keep him out of the fight for a while there because he was already down to 11 men. 112, 109, 108 kills on my Cav, decent. 100 kills on Matchlock Warrior Monk, decent. But yeah, this Nodachi right here, complete waste of money. Actually, it might have been a non-vetted Nodachi, which is not so bad. But still, it's 800 talents that I could have been spent better, for sure. Bocav, 200 kills, Walker Raiders, 174. And his melee gen... How much did his melee gen do? 136 kills. But definitely the ambush from Oakley there and the use of the Bocav were the highlights for him. He played well. And that game made me mad, I'm not going to lie, because I have a lot of pride in my Shogun 2 quote-unquote skill, although that's certainly diminished over the years that I haven't played. But I wanted revenge, so remember this is the best of 3. I wanted to kick Oakley's ass after that first game, so we're going to go into the next one after this. It'll be uploaded days after the first one, I'm sure, but wanted to see what I could do. So I'll see you all in the next battle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all later. Indypride signing out. Peace.